I have to reintroduce some of my folks, and maybe perhaps you, to what's going on involving Candace and ERIKA KIRK, and what's that about. When we last checked our Cape Crusaders, when we last checked in, things had pretty much been, it hit, I don't want to say, not an impasse, but it had hit critical mass. There was nothing new that was happening. Nothing different. If you've just tuned in, let me explain to you this. First, Candace Owens is the most powerful person on the internet today. Not the most popular. That would be Joe Rogan. But, and by the way, let me not. There are Indian and specialty platforms, Indian in particular, where they have 30, 40, 50, 100 million. I mean, they're off the charts. Let's exclude them. In our particular realm, Candace Owens is the most powerful. If Candace Owens said, all right, everybody, vote for J.D. Vance. All right, everybody, vote against this. All right, everybody, boycott Burger King or whatever. You would see a force and a force multiplier, the likes of which you couldn't imagine. She's that powerful. She stands for something. She's loved. I've never seen anything like this. She is loved. When you get to that status, you write your own ticket. Not liked, not, loved. Loved. I don't know anybody else who has that. A lot of people like, Tucker, but they don't love him. Candace hits a nerve. And she does something that nobody else can do. She garners followers and acolytes, but again, this committed love, this passion to her cause. Okay, that's that. Next, and this is critical. ERIKA has completely devolved under the weight of her own perceived, bullshit. People don't believe her sincerity. They don't know what to believe. She's curated. She's performative. It's an act. It's theatrical. It's rehearsed. It's this kabuki choreographed act from the death. This now is, she better not do this. It's become a joke. And at first there was a period of time where people said, hey, back off. She's a widow. Back off. Same thing with Savannah Guthrie, which I'm leading up to. At first people said, hey, that's somebody's mother. That's somebody's husband. Take it easy. And had they gone away or had the message ended with that, that would have been the end of it. Period. They would have ended on a high. But they can't do that. They can't do that. ERIKA KIRK has no interest whatsoever in TPUSA, Charlie's legacy, God, Jesus, the Bible, her no. I mean, she may have some passing interest in it. It's about her. Now, I'm not suggesting that she was involved in anything involving her husband's murder. So I'm not going there. I'm talking about how people enjoy this. People become a national star by virtue of tragedy. Give you an example. John Walsh. Remember Adam Walsh, his father? This guy was America's Most Wanted. They found more people. They absolutely did a lot of good. But don't kid yourself. He loved being the star. He was the star. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is, no. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes that fate will give this to you. Sometimes you take off. Look at Sully. Remember Sully Sullenberger? Remember the pilot in The Miracle on the Hudson? Never really took it. It's just sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. Now, throw into the mix Savannah Guthrie. See, Savannah Guthrie also, you would think, would know that she's got to back off. She's got to back off. Understand, she can't help but say, is this a camera? She can almost, remember that the the roar of the grease paint, the smell of the crowd. This is something she knows inside and out. And her instincts take over. And what happened was, at first, that picture and that family of she and her two siblings sorrowfully begging her mother's abductor, please return our mother. Do you see what happened? That was like, oh my God, that hit home. People said, now that, I like her. They saw her without makeup, without the razzmatazz, without the usual stuff. It was about them. It was about them, a unit. She held her brother's hand. Annie, her sister, Tommaso's wife, remember that guy? Suspect number one, according to Ashley Banfield. That's the guy, suspect number one. Until they cleared them all. But that's over here. That's another story. But remember that? Remember that image? Remember how you reacted to that? That's a family. You kind of relate to that. It's like, she doesn't look like a star. She just looks like me, the way I would look. That didn't last long. Next one. Here comes Savannah. Made up and talking. Let me push these amateurs out of the way. I'm talking to you now. And it was this kind of an incoherent thing. What? It was one of those, what? It didn't make any sense. What are you talking about? What? Are you picking words like this because you're a poor writer, or these are code words? I think one of the words was celebrate. The third one again reminded me of one of those. Have you seen those folks where they're sitting in their car or they're at home and they want to share something with you? I was misgendered today. Yeah. Somebody called me ma'am. I'm thinking, stop this. It's a genre that we've seen before. It reminded me of that. You see, Savannah doesn't know when to stop. You're going to asking yourself, when was your plea the most important? She should have shown pictures again of maybe her mother, maybe when they were younger, maybe when they were kids, the family, the unit, something that you can relate to. Jump back to ERIKA. What is ERIKA about? It's about herself. Let me ask you a question. Was Charlie ever buried? I don't know. Christian burial? Where was he? What? How are her kids doing? The kids? Oh yeah, the kids. Right, they're fine, man. She had her moment. Savannah had her, when I say moment, where she was the most powerful in terms of conveying the message, and it just declined precipitously by virtue of the fact that you didn't know when to stop. You didn't know when to stop. You see, most of us who do this, we use the camera because I got to talk to you. This is a video, not an audio. And as you can see, many of us don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about backgrounds and pictures and hair and makeup and all this. Here we are. That's it. Like it or not. Some of us are in our bedrooms. I like the back of the bed mussed up, not mussed up. You know what I mean? Unmade beds and or somebody just sitting in front of, in their car doing those ubiquitous screaming into the car things. Because we must do a video, but it's not about us. We're not saying, look how, like some people you can think, but even some people that obviously care about their looks have a message to stay. ERIKA doesn't get it. So now, the next stage. While Candace is out researching something for ERIKA, or I don't know what, and by the way, ERIKA asked for it. ERIKA wanted this. ERIKA basically walked up to Candace and said, here's my thumb right in your eye. How do you like that? That's exactly what happened. And Candace says, okay. Like that line from Jack Reacher, remember, you wanted this. All right. I'll consider it a pleasure. I didn't want to even include you into this, but you and your TPUSA folks, you want to come after me? Watch this. Nothing scares her. And then Ben Shapiro, talk about chicken shit, pardon my French, making fun about maybe a mispronunciation on Candace's part. Are you kidding? That's all you've got? That's it? That's it? priggish, pedantic, nitpickily. It's also, I'm going to say something, very feminine. Okay? With all due respect to my sisters in the world, very rare. And you said this word wrong. Come on, Benny. Is that the best you can do? Seriously? Benny and the Jets? Come on. Come on. Now, so she's out, and all of a sudden, the termites come out. You're thinking, who are these people? Now they say, coast is clear. Let me jump in while Mama Bear's not watching. Absolute, devoid of anything even remotely representing, at least in my mind, guts, polish, not so much charisma, but integrity. That's the best you can do. And what are they doing? It's simple. It's simple. First, and this is something which drives me crazy, they'll snatch from Candace her show, portions of her show. Look, maybe I'm the schmuck. Maybe I'm supposed to be doing this. Maybe, but it's like, no, I'm talking. I don't have to stop and take her show and say, see? I'd rather just describe it. That's my job, is to describe it. Life's not about running B-roll. It's me telling you what happened, me describing what happened, me explicating and limbing and expatiating with a degree of certainty what it was that happened. But what they do is they're so content weak, they have to put in her content to talk about her. I mean, come on. And everybody does it, but it's laziness. It's lazy. Because you don't have to talk, you don't have to speak, you don't have to put one word in front of another. You don't have to say anything. You use her words. You basically steal her thunder, her glory, her shadow, her prominence, her provenance, everything. And that's what these sniveling little rat bastards, these imprisoned little feckless, atesticular, orchiectomy, little pissant, benighted moonbat twits do. All of these are like a titmouse. They're just, it's so, and the best part, I'm saying, it's so unmanly. Especially the guys who sit around covered in tattoos. Look at me! Look at me! I'm taking my creatine and I'm working out. It's like, well, why don't you say something? Well, I'm not going to say anything. I don't have anything to say. I've got to comment on Candace. Candace has fed more. I mean, she's made more platforms than anything you can imagine. And while I'm talking about her, as I'm talking about Epstein and Savannah Guthrie and Trump and the rest of the world, sorry, it's kind of what I do. It's about me. You may not like me. That's okay. But it's about me. But the bigger the tough guy, the more the tats, the less the content, the less the original thought, the less the disquisition, the exegesis, the explanation, the adumbration, the review. Have you ever noticed that? So Candace has inspired. Candace ought to take a cut from this. They actually do the words. They do the work. And it's becoming so lazy. The genre is so lazy that I'm going to watch somebody who tells me, who shows me what I've already seen before. Now look, the Zapruder film is one thing, but Candace's episode last week's another story. So it goes back to this, which is what I was saying. Candace feeds this. They love her. All right? Now here's the thing. If you want to go after her, please go after what she says. Don't call her crazy. The crazy thing doesn't work anymore. Crazy is like saying, stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid and you're crazy. You're crazy. That's the best you can do. You're crazy. Come on, man. Put the creatine down. Is that the best you can do? You're crazy. She's what? Or she's jealous. Or, she was in love with Charlie. I don't even know what to tell you. So I'm just telling you, my dear friends, listen, I want you to understand very, very carefully. What you're seeing here is brilliant. And Candace Owens has brought more people pleasure and in some cases money than anything you can imagine. And finally this. We're seeing a conflation. We're seeing a concatenation. We're seeing an admixture, a movement together. We're seeing Epstein. We're seeing the Savannah Guthrie thing. We're looking at other issues as well. We're looking yesterday, you might have seen this, of AOC and Whitmer and these others, but AOC in particular, in Germany, saying nothing. Form over substance. And a lot of people out there are saying, wait a minute. Let's pay attention to what people are really saying and not how they look. Not the glitz or the glamour or the sparklers or the lame or the codes or the looking up and all. Let's listen. Let's imagine that we can take what they're doing and read it. Take a Candace Owens show. Read the transcript of it. Take anything ERIKA KIRK has said. Take anything Savannah Guthrie has said. Read it. It's like college level, middle school. We're becoming more and more used to legitimacy, reality, realness. Something that's not synthetic. Something that is not Fouquet. Something that is not Fugazi. We're looking at the real thing, the real McCoy. That's what this is. And there's going to be hell to pay. Now, right now, if there is a dream, if there is a God, if there is justice, ERIKA, you and Candace must agree to a debate. No holds barred. No moderators. You and she sitting across from each other and have at it. I don't even want an audience. I want it to be raw. I want to hear every noise, every sniffle, every hem and haw. That's what I want to hear. And you would see Candace Owens destroy, grind her into pulp, ladies and gentlemen, the likes of which you cannot believe. This is something that we would love. I would love to see a real debate. And not this Piers Morgan crap, but I mean a real serious debate. Can you imagine what that would be like? Because as you know, simply this, and how do I say this in a nice way? I'll just say it. ERIKA KIRK is an airhead. She's a dingbat, all right? She's a moron. I'm sorry. All her whole thing is she is playing the role. She is playing the role. Candace Owens has more intellectual firepower in a fingernail clipping, in a lock of hair, in an article, in exfoliated skin cells than ERIKA KIRK does in her entire being. She's scripted. She is performative. She is theatrical, and nobody's buying it. And that's what this is about. So we're going to welcome Candace back. Take your time off. This is terrific. But understand, all these little vermin, these little twits, these benighted moon bats, these atesticular little spineless invertebrates, they're going to be coming to the top right now when big dog's away, and they're going to yap, and then back into their retrenches. Go ahead and do it. We don't need your review anyway. And then even thank you for this. Thank you. Candace, we're with you 100%. All right? I love what she has to say. I've never met her. I don't know who she is. I don't know. She's probably a great person. That's not it. This isn't personality. If I lost my sight tomorrow, I could still read about it. I could still listen and still love it. Imagine if all you had to do was to imagine ERIKA KIRK on an audio only. Can you imagine that? Dear God. I'd rather suck a hospital mop than listen to that crap. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Thank you for following us. Thank you for following our movement. And let me tell you, thank you for following my beloved wife, the light of my life at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube, because what she is doing in the fight against human trafficking, and by the way, put the link right here, go there, the fight against human trafficking and child predation and digital predation and the like, what she's doing is God's work. All right, my friends, I've got some questions for you. Have a great and a glorious day, and comment as you see fit.